So here's the Sumpple IP camera. I have it temporarily set up outside. Dome camera. It's got the antenna on top. It's adjustable. On the bottom come out a bunch of wires. It says in the instructions what each one is, but basically you got the power, you got audio inputs and outputs, you got a reset button, you got an alarm, and you got the hardwired data cable. Alright, so right here I got the Sumpple wireless or wired dome IP camera. Over here in this part of the video I'm going to show you how to open it up in order to insert a microSD card. What you need are two tools. You need a hex key and you need a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, this is not for the faint of heart, so if you don't know how to do this, just don't do it and use the camera as it is without accessing the microSD card. But if you want to access a microSD card, follow along. I'll try to show as clearly as possible. The first step is put in the hex key over here on the top of the dome, unscrew these three screws. One here, one here, one here. I loosened it one here, one here, one on each side. I loosened it previously in order to speed up the showing of this video. Now that it's loose, there are three screws on top over here. So, I'm going to loosen these as well. Just remember to have the camera unplugged at the time. Okay. Okay, now you can see that this top part is disconnected and you can see a bundle of wires going through it. You know, try to be careful with those. Okay, now on the top over here is the dome. If you look over here, you can see there's 4 screws. I already started loosening them in order to speed up this video. But here we go. Gonna undo this one. And make sure to do this on a carpet, low to the ground, or a real soft surface, because you are dealing with the dome over here and you don't want it to crack or get scratched. So also be careful with your screwdriver, because if you scratch that dome, you're always going to have that on your screen. Once that's there, you can remove it. Okay, now this is the more complicated part. Let me try to get in over here so you can see. So, see that screw down there? There's one. Two. And 3. Okay, those are 3 screws that you have to open it up now. Sorry, just so when you spin the camera a little in order to access all the screws if part of it's blocking. Okay. Now I took out these 3 screws. They're really small. Okay, the problem is you can't really slide this down yet because this wire is holding it tight. So come over here, and there's a clamp holding the wire tight. So just loosen it slightly, and then push the wire in, and you'll see it'll push the camera out. Now over here, lift it. Okay, now we're zooming in over here. So you see right here is a chip that's getting pulled on. So be very careful with that and just pull it out. Okay, that's the antenna. That is gonna plug back in over here when we're done. Okay, now that that's undone, you can see the whole top of the PCB board. Right here is the slot for the microSD card. So I'm going to take my 64GB microSD card, as that is the maximum this can handle. And slide it in. Push it in until you hear it snap in. And that is how to install it. In order to put it back, make sure to first connect the antenna. It's a slightly tight connection, so make sure to move everything as close as possible before making the connection. Okay, and once I did that, you just rotate the camera until it's on those grooves. Then put it upside down. Now just take those screws, put them back in on all three sides over here. Yeah, and then go tighten this back up, those screws, put the dome back on, and tighten this connection. But first pull the wire tight so there's no extra wire there. So that is how to install the micro SD card. And now I'm going to go on to the next step. So now that we installed the camera, the micro SD card in the camera, we are going to log on to the computer. So you open up you put the CD that comes with the computer, and then you can open up the search IP cam, and you click it, and it'll show you your IP address. When you double click it, it opens it up on your computer. Once you get here, you type in the default admin for the username, and the password is Sumpple. And then you can choose the server, Persia, VLC, or QuickTime, and the language. And then you click login. Okay, right now it's logging on to the onboard camera. So I just temporarily put the camera outside my house, and it looks like I may have put it upside down. Let's see, I tried to press reset right now. Just waiting for it to finish moving around. Okay, meanwhile, if you go over here, you can flip the orientation.
So if it was facing the wrong way before, you can now face the right way. Over here are the arrows. It's like touching my railing, but you could press these arrows to move around. Over here you can control the speed of the pan to zoom. So the panning and zooming, so if you put it on faster, it'll move faster. But the problem with moving fast is that you could get a blurred picture sometimes, so sometimes it's better to do a slower zoom. Okay, there we got some street over there. Okay. Now over here, you can see a car driving away. This button over here is for the brightness, so if you move it all the way to one side, you see it becomes brighter. Move it all the way to the other side, you can see it becomes darker.
Daddy, what are you talking?
So over here is the black and white function. You can mean basically the contrast. Way too much. You adjust it based on your outdoor conditions. You can change the coloring and saturation. The hue and saturation. Over here is a button to set the presets, and over here you can call presets. So you can set presets. I'll just show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And over here is a button to get out of there. Over here is a button to do a vertical patrol. And basically it'll move, in the, see, I'll just patrol. I have the zoom on real fast, so the panning. And then you can do horizontal patrol also. So right now it's not mounted in the best position, so you're seeing a lot of grass instead of a lot of street, but you get the idea. And then you can stop the horizontal patrol and stop the vertical patrol. So you basically have it like circling around when you have both, or you could do, have just one doing the patrol in that desired direction. And just pull up to the street, and now I'm gonna stop. Okay. So that's basically for the computer aspect. You got a bunch of buttons here to move around, like I showed you. Now we're going to go into the settings tab. So over here it's got real detail settings. You can go to device info. You can do setup, user permissions. You can add multiple users, and you can control their access level from administrator, operator, or visitor. You can do date and time settings, audio settings. You can use a built-in headset or external headset. It's got various network settings. You can do email settings for email alerts. Here's till you choose the video quality. You can change the frame rate. How many frames you want. So the higher frames, the better clarity, but you're also going to be slowing down your internet. And it could come in choppy if you don't have fast enough internet. So you got a mainstream and a substream. Here's alarm settings. You can turn on motion detection. So you could do, let's say motion detection is on, sensitivity is, let's say the highest sensitivity and notices anything. You can set how long the duration is, and then you can set it to record to the Microsd card. And you can do alarm notification by HTTP if you know how to do those things. Here you can set a schedule for when you want the motion sensitivity to be on. So you can just click the boxes, or you can just unclick it and just have it on all the time. After you finish doing each thing, make sure to hit save so it saves. Over here you could go to the crew setting. Here's where you could set multiple presets. And over here, what's very cool is it has a system log, so you can see exactly what's happening at all times. And you can see when it's powered off, the configurations, everything that was done to it. I have since the beginning of time, or 1970, but I guess that was the default time in there. Yeah, and then you see that the date got changed. And you could always clear these. It's got an option for auto maintain. I'm not sure what that is. And then over here is system settings. You can reboot the device. You can restore factory settings. You can upgrade device firmware. If they come with a new firmware on the website, you can download it and do it, or upgrade device WI. The same thing if they come out with a upgrade. So that is the basic computer settings. Now I'm going to move on to the app. So the app isn't as good as the web interface. But here's the app on my Nexus 6. When you log in, when you first download the app, it asks you to create an account, and then you connect it to the camera either by scanning the QR code or by doing it through the computer. So once you finish scanning the QR code, you can click here, and it should pull up the video of the outside. And here it is. So these buttons over here, it gives you an option for a snapshot where it will take a picture. You could press record where it starts videotaping and it records it to the internal memory on your camera, on your phone. Sorry. The call button is in order you could press here to press to talk to the person. And over here is the option to press zoom. It's very hard to see, but there's a minus and a plus button here. You could to zoom in and out. Oh, there's plus and there's minus. Then over here is a album button. You can see the previous photos and the previous videos. If you swipe the tab, you have two options here. You got a left-right panning and up-down panning. You press those, it'll automatically do it, like we did on the computer before. And then we got also the up-down, right-left buttons to zoom around there. Over here on the bottom left is a button to change it from HD, standard, fluent, or auto. So it could, if you do HD, it might not be fluent, but you could change the settings as you need based on your internet speeds. So on the bottom are 4 tabs. It says live video, add camera, media, or TF card. So media is what's on your phone, and the TF card is the Microsd card that I put in the camera. So if you click here, it says no files, that it wasn't configured yet to save anything. Then when you hit exit, it's going to give you an option of cancel background or exit, because you could have motion alerts if you want, so to make it running in the background. Over here, it's a couple more options: account, help center, contact, feedback. Nothing that interesting. So that's just in case you're looking for it in the Play Store, this is the name of it, Sumpple IP Cam. And then right now I'm just going to show you a couple videos that I took using this camera, and that will wrap up this review. I was extremely impressed with the build quality. It was very good. The only down thing I didn't like it was how hard it was to put in the Microsd card. But honestly, I haven't seen any other IP cams like this that offer an option of putting in a Microsd card. So, it's an advantage, but it's not a perfect system yet. In the future, hopefully they'll improve that part.